Daily, go get a mism show. You think it ain't when it is? You think it won't when it is? We are here and we are in motion. We do this thing, taking off fast lane, no coasting, and everything is going to be all right. We talking about the government shutdown tonight. This is not our first time at the rodeo, y'all. This is not our first time at the rodeo. The government is shut down. Shut down, baby. And this is something that we have to deal with. First of all, I want to say peace to and semi condolences to all of the government workers out there, because they are the ones that are really affected by this. You know, if you work for state government, if you're a government worker, or if you have government contracts or whatever, you know, you want to be working, but you can't get paid. Now imagine that. Imagine that, not being able to get paid. Oh man, we got a personal. Music 99 says, I'm out on furlough as an employee of the DOD. Yeah, I'm really sorry about that. I really am. I mean, this is not a small thing, and it's not the first time that we have seen a government shutdown. If you have any years on you, if you're anything more than a teenager, you've seen the government shut down before. And it's terrible. It's terrible. I remember the last government shutdown that lasted any length of time was during the Obama administration at the end of 2012. They couldn't reach an agreement, and certain things, not just government employees get shut down, but also people who are receiving government benefits such as unemployment, what do you call it? Like Social Security, things like that. Everything, everybody and everything is affected by this. But I tell you what's not affected. If you work in a private corporation, I bet you still have to pay your taxes. See, government shutdown never means the IRS. No, that's always separate. They can always get their money no matter what. But you may not get your money. So I'm real sorry about that for you, Music 99. It's messed up. You said this is my third week on the job. 2013 shutdown was 3 weeks. It certainly was. It certainly was. And I remember that one well, because I was collecting unemployment, and I couldn't, I had to reapply for unemployment and all that kind of stuff. And that's when I realized, like, you know what? That was the first time I'd ever had to collect unemployment, and I wasn't feeling it. I was like, this is not the place to be. This is not the thing to do. But now here we are in the middle of this government shutdown. And this is an unprecedented government shutdown because, one side is totally blaming the other side. Like, this is not a partisan issue. I mean, you know how there's supposed to be a such thing as black fatigue? Well, why doesn't anybody talk about Trump fatigue? Trump fatigue has to be a real thing. It has to be, because we have to see this man on our TV, on our phones, on our tablets, on our computers every single day. That's whether we want to or not. And if we can get tired of watching the same show every day, if we can get tired of hearing the same songs every day, if we can get tired of eating the same food every day, you mean to tell me that we can't get tired of hearing this rhetoric from this fool every day? And I call it Trump fatigue because I'm getting tired of complaining about this dude. I'm getting tired of warning people about this man. I'm getting tired of saying, well, we told you. Kamala Harris told you. All the Democrats told you what he was going to do. And it's like he's playing right out of the book that they wrote. But the book that he's actually playing from is the Project 25. All of this stuff was talked about in Project 25, and now we're living it out. So I'm suffering from Trump fatigue. I don't know if y'all are suffering from the same thing, but I'm like the recklessness and the irresponsibility of this president is like nothing I've ever seen before, and I'm so sick of seeing it. Is it just me? Let me know, y'all. If it's really just me, just let me know. Hold on, I gotta get my monitor together. I don't like the way my vision is right there. That's good. That's good. Welcome everybody to the Daily Go Getimism Show. I'm your host, Sun752. I'm feeling like a real man should. I hope y'all feeling like real men and women should also. We do this every single weekday night. Well, we do it 7 days a week, but we do this every week night, 2 a.m. in the morning, Eastern Standard Time. Please, as you come in here, as we get this conversation started, and this will be a good, long conversation, please hit that like button. You know, just give me a thumbs up, and we'll be all right. We're going to be all right anyway, but I'd appreciate it if you show a little love. Hit the like button. My people's manifest reality was good. And T Carry right morning, noon, and night. It's always great to have my peoples going directly into your site. Appreciate you. Music 99, Keisha Hinkle, Philip Fletcher was good. And Max Polishuk was good. Thanks to see you. Always good to see you. Always good to see you. Thanks for coming through. Buana, my people's Buana Haguski says, bro, the government shut down. Now what? Well, we're going to talk about what the now what is. We're going to talk about what the now what is. And Manifest says, I am really trying to use my words carefully. Well, you know, you don't have to use your words carefully here. We let it out. We air it out. Everybody doesn't have to agree with each other, and we don't have to censor. We don't have to censor ourselves, but I would rather ourselves be the only censorship that we ever suffer. But, you know, we can get it out. Megan Pierce says, I'm so scared of having surgery. Well, and bless you. I don't know what kind of surgery you're having, but I hope that it goes successfully. I really do. Keisha Hinkle, I can't make you a mod because I don't know you. I mean, it's really that simple. Everyone who is a mod on this channel are people that I know. Now, maybe when you listen, you know, if you watch the show consistently, you know, for a good little while, you know, maybe we can work out something. But just out of the blue, we don't get down like that. No offense, but I don't know you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it just doesn't work that way. Can't give you the wrench or the keys to the ride yet. I can't let you whip my ride just yet. But it's all good. It's all love. All right. So we're talking about the government being shut down. What's the first thing that comes to your mind when you talk about the government shut down? Do you understand how this works? When the president cannot find an agreement on the budget for with Congress, then it turns into a stalemate, and they have to reach an agreement by a certain date or deadline, and they haven't been able to reach it. So, of course, the Democrats have certain demands or requests or provisions that they want to see made, and of course, the GOP, or really, I just consider this to be Donald Trump, you know, because there's a difference between Republican conservatives and MAGA GOP, because MAGA is not, they're not conservatives. That's if you know the definition of what a political conservative is. They are not that. No way. Dimples D's, what's good? What is good? All right. Let me see what we got. Cheryl Halsey, how you feeling, ma? Good to see me some you all the time, every day. He says, I have a compound fracture in my right ankle and my bones came out of my skin. What were you doing? That sounds like a very serious injury. What were you doing? Were you injured on a bike, a motorcycle, or something like that? Did you fall? Yeah, I mean, honestly, did you fall from a great height or something like that? I really hope you get it together. I'm really pulling for your health. Marvina Bigby, what's good? Always good to see you. Philip Fletcher says, is Trump? Are you asking, is Trump the problem, or are you saying is Trump? He's the problem. Trump is the problem here. He's the problem. And there's so many personal issues going on with this government shutdown. There's so many personal issues going on with this government shutdown. This is not like government shutdowns of old, where they just couldn't reach an agreement because it wasn't a partisan issue, where one side was going against the other side, the one side being the GOP going against the Democrats if the Democrats were the president, or the Democrats going against the GOP if the GOP was the president at the time. So, but the difference between this government shutdown and previous government shutdowns is it didn't necessarily have anything to do with the person. And I say that with a grain of salt, and I have to be careful of how I word that, because it could easily be argued that the government shutdown of 2013 had a lot to do with Obama, the man, more than Obama, the president. We can debate that. We can argue that. We can look into that. But as of this moment, and it is the first of the month, and to be honest with you, regionally, it's hurricane season. So government agencies like FEMA shut down. So what if Hurricane Zebra comes up? The FEMA wouldn't be able to do anything about it. Not that Trump and MAGA having dogged FEMA out so bad that you got people distrusting FEMA. This is different. This is different. And when I say I have Trump fatigue, I'm just wondering, what is the straw that will break the back of the American public for them to finally say, you know what, enough is a fucking enough. That's it. He has to go. He has to go. But we evidently haven't reached that point yet. And I don't know how soon we will get there, or if we ever do. Dimples D's was good. Because there are still a lot of people who see this government, who see this citizenship through the eyes of Trumpism. Now, a lot of this government shutdown has a lot to do with healthcare. The Democrats don't want Medicaid and Medicare to get shut down, to get cut. But it's in the big, beautiful bill that is going to get cut. It's already being cut. I work in a hospital. I see the effects of it already. And the height of anxiety, the anxiety that's associated with this. This is not good. It's bad. Real bad. You know what I'm saying? We have a call on the line. Call on the line. Call on the line.
You have a call from.
Caller with the last numbers 5639. Welcome to the Daily Go Get 'Emism show. Thank you for calling in. What's on your mind tonight? What's good?
Hey, what's up? Hey, everybody. So,
Howdy.
you know I was going to call in on this one. Trump fatigue. I said, well, I guess we're already into the horror season more than we anticipated. October kicked off with a different kind of fear. I think fatigue is an understatement. This is, I can't describe what it is. I know it's making people broken. People who are already broken coming from him being in office previously and going through all the stuff he went through with the pandemic. People were broken then. But now it's destroying people. I think mentally we are beyond exhausted, and I think that is the result of why we're seeing so many people come out and do the things, the horrific things they're doing, like boarding children into a church and shooting up a church and all these things that are happening. I just don't, this is not without fodder for the things he's been on. And these people who voted him in, I don't think any of them expected this, even though they were forewarned. You know, I have two loved ones right now I'm seriously worried about. One who is stuck between Istanbul and Cote d'Ivoire. And she wonders if it has to do with this shutdown, because the U.S. Embassy in between now is not doing their job. Everybody is just stuck trying to cross between one to the next. And they're just there. Mm-hmm. Then I have another who is concerned about this collision that just happened between the two Delta airplanes, because she has to get from Maryland back to Indiana. And of course, everybody questions, is this because he's already started this mass firing of non-essential workers, as he likes to say, even though that means absolutely nothing, because he don't even give a damn about the essential workers. Mm-hmm. And even some of them are like, why would I care about coming to work when I'm not guaranteed a paycheck? Like, we know the law, air quote, they should be taken care of. They will be made whole once the shutdown ends, but we know who we're dealing with. There's nothing that he does that follows any rule. He doesn't even follow the fucking Constitution. So these people know they're not guaranteed a paycheck. And I don't know anyone who wants to go to work and deal with people in a public-facing kind of role when you're dealing with people with attitude and anger and all these things to work for free when you have bills to pay yourself. So all these things are an issue. All these things are a concern. Because I'm like, are my people safe? Mm-hmm. Are my people going to make it home? Like my friend who is in Istanbul, she's on her way from there to the Ivory Coast and then to Burkina Faso. Mm-hmm. And it's like, she said they're already pulling information. They're already pulling passports, visas. They're already pulling passports. They're already asking a bunch of questions that were asked before she even left the United States. Mm-hmm. But now there's a different level of security there. And it's all because of this bullshit with this thing here that people voted to run the United States who couldn't even run simple fucking businesses that were given to him and money that was given to him. That money he had to go earn. Money that was just given to him. He couldn't even manage money that was given to him. But some people thought it was okay to let him run the United States. He's running it. He's running it into the ground. He's running us into a third world war. He's running us into the ground. He's been an embarrassment. And even with that horrific speech he did at the UN, Every speech after that spoke of what the rest of the world thinks of the United States. It let us know that we have no allies. It let us know when, not if, when the attack begins, there's no protection in place. None. We will perish immediately. This new country, because people don't realize the United States is new. He went and said all these things at the UN, and it's like you are speaking to leaders of countries that have existed long before this one, and you're saying horrible things to them. You're saying your countries are going to hell. They're going to hell? Nope. This country is already in hell. We're in the first layer of it, I guess. And I don't think he's going to be complete until he's fully ruined it. The last time we had a shutdown was when he was in office. And here we are again, but it's different this time.
It's very different this time.
Yes men around him.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said the other day, he has yes men around him who allow him to do anything he wants to do. There is nothing in place to stop him from doing anything that he wants to do. That is why he shits on the Constitution. That is why he shits on any rule. And yes, people are taking him to court over and over and over, but guess what? Nothing happens. He just goes to court, that's it. Nothing happens. They say he can't do Part A, he goes and let me move forward with Part B. They say he can't do Part B, he goes and does Part C. He just continues it like an avalanche of chaos. That's what he does. And he has all the people up his ass kissing it.
Yeah.
Who just let him do these things. And here we are at another shutdown. And this one is different because it's not just people are going to come back from it. He has made it clear he is going to use this as an opportunity to fire anyone he wants to fire. He's using it as an opportunity to get back at his opponent because he thinks he's a superhero who has nemesis. He's using it as an opportunity to use funding that belongs to the United States people to do whatever he wants to do, to play his little game. He's using it against our colleges where our children are trying to be educated. He's using it against states that are ran by Democratic leaders. He's using that against those states, and it's going to hurt those people who live there. And guess what? It's also going to hurt the people who have Republican leaders who don't always agree with him 100%. And even if that doesn't happen, those are the same states where all of his racist friends decide to come out and make it miserable for everyone else who is not a white man.
Well,
so no one wins in this. No one.
The thing about this whole thing, about this shutdown, about this administration, if that's what you want to call it, is that it's so reckless and it's so divisive. It's so divisive. I mean,
yes.
The things I'm seeing, I'm thinking like, there's no way that most people can be okay with this. I went on the HUD website. On all of the government websites, it's talking about how the radical left wants the government to shut down. It's actually written this way. And how the Republicans want to keep it says the radical left wants to see the government shut down over in order to get their way or some old crazy stuff like that. And it says that the Republicans want to keep Donald Trump and the Republicans want to keep the government open. And it's like, but the thing is, how can you legally put that on government agency websites? How can you do that? Okay, let me pull it up. Because when I saw it, and that wasn't the only website that was like that.
I'm surprised you even found some websites because some of them don't even exist anymore. Like if you go to some of them and try to put them in, and I know this because of some of the people I work with, they're saying when they go to the site, some of the sites that offer subsidies, they go to the site and the site doesn't even exist. It's an error message.
This is what it says. The radical left,
in some states.
The radical left in Congress shut down the government. HUD will use available resources to help Americans in need. It literally says this shit. How can you ethically do this shit? There is no, I know that because of the invert, y'all can't see it the way that, but you can go on the HUD. If you Google HUD, all you have to do is click on the link and it'll take you to the website and you'll see it. And this is on all of the government agency websites. So yeah, the radical left, like, dude. So from a legal standpoint, from an ethical standpoint, like, how can you do this shit? And this is why I say I have Trump fatigue, because I'm like, this shit is too much. Like, it never stops. The chaos never stops. The grifting never stops. There's no way you can do this. The corruption never stops. The ridiculousness of it, it just goes on and on. It's more and more and more.
He doesn't find FEMA workers to be essential. So, like, my little cousin works for FEMA, and he's questioning, like, how he, of course, we're going to make sure he gets home, but it's a question of how some of those who are out taking care of business in some of these areas where there have been natural disasters are going to return home, because basically he's saying they're non-essential, so there's no reason for the United States to pay for them to return home.
The thing is, all of the government agencies and their employees are expected to work as usual and just not get paid. And that also means that means FEMA, that means HUD, it means the military. Well, it determines the soldiers in the military.
The military, the ATC, everybody. But he's determining which ones are essential and which ones are non-essential.
Well, so much bullshit is going to come out of this. Like, you can't just, like a lot of stuff that he talks about are sort of like threats and whatever, because he likes to see people afraid. But this fool will deliver on a lot of the ideas that he comes up with, regardless of whether he is started out to the end or not. And that's the problem here. So when you have people still defending this craziness, you don't know how far this is going to go and how bad it's going to get. But it's already bad enough for you to really, really have some serious concern over this. So people are not going to get paid. Nope. That's the bottom line. So if you know somebody that's be fired. Yeah, so that's people who are receiving benefits and also employees, but they are expected to get their ass up and go to work every day, as usual, because the thought process behind it.
Work and do a good job. That's the thing. They're not gonna. Because I wouldn't. I'm just gonna be honest. I wouldn't. I would stand around. I wouldn't do shit. I'd be in the bathroom all day. I wouldn't do nothing, and that's going to be a problem because that puts people's lives in danger. And just like he said, this doesn't affect anyone who gets Medicaid or Medicare. I call bullshit because he's going to test that too.
Yeah, this is a bottomless pit administration. As soon as you think that there's no way they can go lower, they dig farther. They find more and more depth. It's crazy. You talk about flooding the zone. You don't know where to put your concentration on because there's so much shit going on. And like posting videos of Hakeem Jeffries, AI video. I'm like, what the fuck? What
and the excuses? That's the part. I'm like, the excuses. If Joe Biden had done that, if Barack Obama had done that, if either of the Bushes had done that, this country would go insane. But he does it, and J.D. Vance gets up there with the biggest lies out of his couch fucking mouth. What?
This shit is crazy.
He's a fun president. He likes to have a good time. And Caroline loving her loser ass, making excuses too. I'm glad we have a fun president who knows how to tell a joke. There's nothing about that that's a joke. Everything about that is
I tell you, that chick is amazing. I've never seen no shit like this before. There's nobody who could do that job the way she does it. I ain't never heard. I've never seen this level of ridiculousness and corruption in my life. I never seen this shit. This bitch literally said that he was just showing transparency. Like, isn't it cool that you'll see a tweet that was actually done by the president? I'm like, yo, what? Like, what? Am I watching Bullworth? Remember that movie Bullworth? I'm like, I gotta be watching Bullworth.
I do.
I gotta be watching Bullworth. I gotta be. This ain't real. This can't be real. It is.
And it's like we're living in Groundhog Day. Because it's a repeat every day. It's been a repeat since
this shit is
what?
It's more like
2015 when he started running.
This shit is more like the Truman Show. Like, this shit gotta be scripted.
It's really more like Saul, the first one. That's what it's like.
I don't know.
This is a fucking horror movie that we are living wide awake.
Now, how long is this going to last? How long do you think it's
the
going to
world
last?
cannot take too much more of this. The world can't take too much more of this. Not this country, the world. Everything he does affects everywhere. That's the part. That's what makes him the worst of the worst, because it affects everybody who's living and breathing on this planet. Because he's telling people what to do with their services, what to do with their military, what to do in their country. Why are you meddling in those people's business? That has nothing to do with you.
That's the American first agenda.
They shouldn't pay for this. They should allow this and that, and they should be focused on this. And don't you this stupid shit when he called all these military leaders to come and sit in this room and talk about nothing but stupid stuff.
That was amazing.
The enemies are watching.
That was fucking amazing. I was like, you called them from all over the world to do this shit? To listen to this bullshit?
Call them fat. When you got the leader of the country is fat.
No, I ain't even talk. I'm not even talking about Pete Hegseth. I'm not even talking about him. I'm talking about when Donald Trump stood in front of him and asked them to give him applause. I'm like, this bitch, this nigga wildin'. This motherfucker is too much. Like, yeah.
But then you notice how he trails off in his conversation. He's saying stuff that doesn't even make sense. He's saying things he's still talking about winning this election in 2020. And it's like, what are you saying? Like, we have a natural disaster that's going on. We have this hurricane that's headed toward these states, and he's worried about this foolishness. He's arguing with the NFL over who's performing at the Super Bowl. He's talking about sending ICE to the Super Bowl because of the performer. That's what his focus is. We have food recalls all over the United States over food that has never, ever been recalled, but now everything is on the recall list. You have people who are spreading the measles like crazy. We have a new case of COVID. We have all these things going on, and this son of a bitch can't find anything else to talk about but what Obama did in his mental lost head what Biden did in his mental lost head, how he's the better president, how he knows more than a reporter who was in an interview with him, and I know more than you about it. What is wrong with this? And they don't see anything wrong with it. Even the majority of people who voted for him have buyer's remorse.
Not
But
enough.
the ones who stick by him silently, I'm like, what's wrong with you?
Not enough. Not enough.
It's not, because there's too many that still cheer and celebrate him. It's still too many. There's still too many who make excuses for him. Like, we already have a piss poor United States Postal Service. This shutdown is going to affect it. Like, right now, I'm like, what is wrong with this fucking mailman who just puts my mail anywhere? My neighbors and I, we have to have a Facebook group so we can sort out our mail in the neighborhood. In 54 years, I have never known that to happen. But now we literally have to get on Facebook every fucking day and say, hey, I have somebody's mail who lives 3 streets over and not even the same house address.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how we have to get our mail. I got a letter that was sent to me in August 3 days ago about money that's owed to me. That's getting ready to go to the lost funds that go, and I have to go retrieve it and prove and all this kind of stuff. It was sent in August, and I just got it 3 days ago because it's somebody else's house who doesn't even live in the house. It's just a property they own because we have a piss poor mail service right now. And now we have this shutdown, so this is going to affect it even more than it already exists. We have so many problems from this thing that is running the country.
Right.
And it's not, you're right, it's not enough people who have buyer's remorse.
Not nearly enough.
It's just
they're not vocal. They're not vocal.
It.
They're not vocal and they're not active. So they're not worth shit to us. They're not worth shit to the people who are really affected by this shit, even though they are the ones that are really affected by it. This is the crazy. It's like knowing that you need a raincoat or at the very least an umbrella, and you just out there in the rain. Like, well, yeah, I could have got one, but I'm not. I'm just out here getting wet. Yeah, I got a raincoat back at the crib, but I got an umbrella and all of that kind of shit. I even got galoshes, but I'm not wearing none of them. I'm just going to stay out here and get wet. But let's get focused. Let's get focused for a second, because we need to kind of get on track about with this. I think we need to share some information about this government shutdown, and so people can really know what are the reasons for this. Now, let me ask you this: Do you feel like the demands of the Democrats were a little too stringent, a little too demanding, do you think that they were extreme? Like from what you know about what they were looking for in this budget, did you hear anything that made you think like, I don't know about that one? You know what I mean? Like, did you hear about or see anything in what you know about what their requests were, what their demands were that was unreasonable?
So I don't know the full list of demands. Let me say that first and foremost. Mm-hmm. However, from what I'm hearing, I don't hear anything that's too ridiculous. Like, it just seems like the same stuff that repeats over and over. It doesn't seem like anything new. Like, even in this, I'm like, they're not asking. To me, sometimes the Democratic Party doesn't ask for the right thing. They don't ask for enough, and they don't ask for the right things. I think they always ask for the bare minimum. So, no, they didn't ask for anything too much because they never ask for enough. They never demand enough. So, no. And I know his rhetoric is they want to fund immigrants. I hate that term that he's using versus these people in the United States. Like, that is what his thing is. They're trying to ensure, and the way I stand on that is anyone who pays into this economy deserves whatever health benefits come with it.
First of all,
that's my thought on it.
The biggest lie that
bullshit and a lie.
The biggest lie that he told with that was that he said that the radical left is fighting for health benefits for undocumented workers. So for illegal citizens, I mean illegal aliens or whatever you want to call them, illegal immigrants. Yeah, they're saying that the Democrats want health care for them. First of all, that's totally illegal, and it's never been done anywhere for anybody. But that's one of the biggest problematic things with this administration. They don't mind straight up and down lying to the American public who may not know, or who may only rely on the word that he's speaking, or that side is speaking about. So they don't know that not only has that not been being done, that it can't be done because it's totally illegal and it's never been done. But he doesn't care.
Let me ask you a question. On that, because I see something in the chat from this Alex somebody, or Watto, or Audio, whatever, saying that's exactly what they want, and the taxpayer dollars, they're not going to go towards that. Why is it okay that these people who have a label that I don't agree with are allowed to come over here and work, and pay into this economy alongside your taxpayer dollars? They're allowed to pay their taxpayer dollars and fund everything for you and your family, but they get shitted on and get nothing. Why do you think that's okay?
Well,
because for me, that makes that person just you selfish and greedy, Alex. That's my opinion. You're selfish and greedy, because that's like saying, well, you come over here in my house and you help me make this cake, but you don't get to get a piece of this cake. But you come and help. You pay for ingredients just like I pay for ingredients. You help me bake this cake. You help me clean the kitchen after baking it, but you don't get to get a piece of it at all. You don't get to taste it. You don't get none of it. But you put in the hard work and you put in the finances to fund it, but you don't get to eat none of this cake. That's what it's saying.
Yeah.
See, that's the kind of stuff that I feel like the Democratic Party should be asking for. Make it fair across the board. But at the same time, they ask for just a little favor. But they're not asking for taxpayer dollars to fund this lie. That's not what they're asking for. They're asking for the simplicity of senior citizens who live in housing funded by the government that is allotted for them to still have that funding. They're asking for funding for people who have put into this country until their old age to still have some kind of care for them. That's what they're asking for. That other bullshit is a lie.
Look. Hold on. I'm not going to do this tonight. I'm not going to get caught up in defending a position from people that don't know what they're talking about. I don't have the time. I've had a long day. I don't have the patience for this shit. So we just going to bring the information. You don't want, if you didn't know the information, you will learn it. If you don't want to accept it, that's cool. You were who you were before you came here. You know what I'm saying? But the bottom line is that shit that Donald Trump talks about, Alex, is a glaring example of that. There are people who really believe the shit that he says, and they take it seriously. And so there's so much disinformation out there, so much disinformation, so much misinformation that it's hard. I see why the support of this dickhead continues, and then you mix other cultural wars. They talking about some, they asking for men to be able to participate in women's sport. Like, you go back to that shit all the time. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, imagine that being part of the budget. Of course, it's not a request. It's not in the budget. You would phrase just the same way that he's saying it. He doesn't give a fuck whether it's true or not. And there are no guardrails on him. There are no restraints on what he can just go out there and say. He fixed the press so nobody fact checks him anymore. And because he'll kick the press out, now they just let him go ahead and say whatever he wants to say. You know what I mean? But because he got everybody all shook and shit. And he has people like Alex and other people believing that the press are the press are the real problems. The media is the real problems. Like, this dude is a saint. They're just reporting that he's a devil. I'm like, how much is gas where you live? Fuck all of that.
He's probably one who believes it's under $2. No,
I don't give a fuck what you believe. How you got gas stations wherever you live? How much does it cost? You know what I'm saying? I mean, we ain't got to go through all that shit. You know, we are at the point right now where we are trying to overemphasize things and over-explain things that are fucking simple and plain. How much?
Well, here's a fact. Here's a fact.
Hold on, Kim. Hold on. How much is gas where you live? The last time you bought butter, how much did it cost? Milk, how much did it cost? You know what I mean? If you eat seafood, how much did it cost? The last time you went out to a restaurant, how much did it cost? When you take your kids out for recreational things, how much did it fucking cost? We ain't got to go through all of this bullshit. There are things right in front of your face. Now, if you want to play these silly games and deny what you see right in front of your face because you think it's going to get better, then that's your struggle. But I'm not tonight. Not to fucking night.
Well, here, let's tell some facts that I think people don't know because it's not out there for the world to know. It's there, but the average layman doesn't know this exists. One of the things that the Democratic Party I know was fighting for is something that started back when he was the president the first time, that is set to expire, and that is during the pandemic, there were subsidies that were put in place to lock the cost of health insurance coverage. And that is due to expire the end of this year. So they want to lock down what is in place so the cost of health care coverage does not spike or disappear. Now, again, this is because of this pandemic that he launched us in back when he was the president the first time. But this was put in place so these companies can't gouge the hell out of the American citizens and make them decide, am I going to pay for health care or I'm going to feed my family and pay our mortgage or our rent? So this extension is going to expire. One of the things they want to put in place is to lock it down so it doesn't inflate. And people going into 2026 can't afford coverage. And there are people who really need that coverage because of health issues or because of sick children or whatever the case may be. Well, they don't want to do that because his cronies own these companies and he wants to see these billionaires continue to increase their pockets because it gets cut back from it, I'm sure. So if this thing expires and there's nothing to lock it in place, then anyone who's paying for insurance right now, it could quadruple the cost by 2026 going into January. And it's not going to be a happy new year. It's going to be one of the most miserable new years for those people who have real health issues. And you know what? Not even just that. It's going to inflate basic marketplace subsidies, marketplace prices. Everybody is going to suffer if this thing expires. And that's one of the things I don't think everybody understands, that the Democrats are trying to keep in place. They're trying to lock it down so we don't have to worry about that. But hey,
listen, Democrat, Republican, I don't really give a fuck. I'm a registered Democrat, but I don't agree with all. I'm not a liberal. I don't give a fuck about a lot of that shit that they advocate for. But if we're talking about this budget bill, there are things in there that are important and that directly affect me because I work for a company and I have health insurance, and I noticed that the shit already went up for this year. Now, for it to go up even more, I'm not feeling that shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not feeling that. It's bad enough. Gas is high as shit. Food is high as shit. Recreation is high as shit. If you want to buy a car, high as shit. And I'm being told there's an orange motherfucker right in front on my TV, or it used to be orange. He's not so orange, nowadays, telling me that everything is cheap as shit and there's no inflation. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because I need to shop.
He said inflation is
I need to shop where he shops, because where I shop is where a lot of other people shop, and it's high. So I got a budget. I got a decent job. I make decent money, but I like to keep most of it for myself. And I'm not able to do that. And I'm not feeling that, especially with somebody. I feel like somebody is gaslighting me when I know that the economy is all fucked up. And I don't mean the governmental economy, because I don't give a fuck about that. I mean my personal economy. So when my check ain't right, and when my money ain't right, and when my people can't be taken care of, that's when you get my attention. So, listen, y'all, I don't know. Everybody in here, if you see that there's a phone number up there, you don't have to stay in the chat. You can express yourself. You can call this number, 267-874-194. Call the number. I'll answer the phone. I won't rush you off. Just like I'm talking to Kim on the phone right now, you can call in and you can get it all out. We can go back and forth. We can learn from each other. This is not an opportunity to be belly aching and to be bitching, pissing, and moaning and all of that. I'm not into all of that. I am all about solutions. I'm about solutions, and I'm about information, because information gives me the opportunity to find solutions, and I'm about that life. So if you want to call into the show and express yourself, do not hesitate. 267-874-1949, and we'll get you right on up in here. What up, K-Cell? What's good? So,
what do you think the solution is to this?
Well, first, wait. A solution for which problem? Because there's so much deflecting going on here. Originally, the Democrats had asked for the total and complete release of the Epstein files. I didn't, even though I thought that was we have bigger fish to fry. I do think that is one of the reasons that the government is shut down right now, because this man will do anything to deflect from that shit. And so it's a lingering issue.
But he started that.
Nonetheless, because he has told everybody, don't think about that and don't ask about that, they actually fucking did it. Like, oh, so we shouldn't ask about that, even though we want to know about that. We should only ask about the questions you want us to ask about, like how the economy has improved and how you stopped the 11 wars and all this old dumbass shit you talking about. Nah. So, but I didn't think it was unreasonable for the full and total release of the Epstein files. But I think they just threw that shit in there because they knew he wasn't going to agree to it. But it's cool. You know what I mean? Like, let's work on the things that we can negotiate on. This healthcare shit is real shit. You know what I mean?
I think he doesn't want to question the stuff that he ran his campaign on. because everything he ran his campaign on that he said he was going to do, he has not done any of it. He's only done the things that he spoke about in the quiet of the dark. Those are the things he's doing, the things that were said he's going to do by the Democratic Party. He said, oh, I'm not going to do any of that. I'm going to do this over here. Well, now he's questioning on all the things he said he was going to do, like stop a war within 24 hours. He hasn't done any of those things. He hasn't made good on any of those promises to the people who voted him in. And I think that's part of the problem too.
Okay.
So
hold on. We have a caller. Let's see. Now, let me warn y'all, this could be trolling because we get a lot of that. So let me just pre-warn y'all. Okay.
You have a call from
caller with the last numbers 2679. Welcome to the Daily Go Getimism Show. What's on your mind tonight?
What's up, my man? What's happening? This Yanko out of Atlanta. Talking about that government shutdown.
All right, let's do it. Let's talk about it.
Hello.
Let's talk about it. What's up, mama? How you doing, man?
I'm well. Thank you for asking. How are you? Glad you joined.
Hey, man, I'm just trying to live, man. Trying to make it up under this Trump administration.
Well, let's talk about it.
Okay. So what are your initial thoughts about it?
What do y'all feel about the shutdown? I feel like it's the Democrat want too much.
You feel like the Democrats want too much? Okay.
They want too much, man. Like they want us to still pay for Medicaid and Medicare for illegal migrants, and they want us to they want PBS and NPR back. It's too much. They do a lot of wasteful spending. You got to stop the wasteful spending.
Where did you wait? Where did you get that they want Medicare and Medicaid for illegal immigrants? That's
I saw it on CNN when Hakeem was talking. That's they showed some of the demands they want. They want Medicaid and Medicare to keep going for illegal migrants. They want to pay for their medical expenses. They want the PBS funding to keep going, to come back. And what's the other channel name? NPR, something like that. I can't remember. They want the funding back to them too. Yes, I mean a channel. What is it? I forgot what it is.
It's a part of PBS.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a part. They want the funding to come back to those two right there.
Is that what you heard Hakeem exactly say? He said those exact words.
No, he didn't.
Yes,
no, he didn't.
No,
he didn't. He didn't. You.
Okay. You say so.
No, no,
that's debatable.
Okay,
that's debatable.
That's what we just want to make sure that we get the right information out. You understand what I'm saying?
We can't be putting out disinformation.
Okay, so there's no such thing as a Medicare or any government programs for illegal immigrants. But the thing is that Donald Trump will say that knowing that it's not true, but not caring that it's not true, because if he says it to people like you who think that they're hearing that, then
it's not what I hear, it's what I see. I see a party that loves them, he, she, them, it more than they love me.
Okay.
I never ever saw this party fight for black people. They number one constituents, the people that be putting them in office, they never fought this hard about us. Never.
Okay, well, let me ask you this.
Go ahead.
If you would be so kind, sir, name one thing that the GOP has ever done for black people. Anything.
Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing.
All right. So can you say that the Democrats have never done anything for black people?
I ain't gonna say never done nothing. It's just they don't if they put more focus in America, then foreign lands and you want to call it undocumented or whatever, I'm gonna call it illegal migrants. If you take away that focus and put in focus on what's going on in Chicago, put the focus on what's going on in LA, put the focus on what's going on with children, black kids, white kids, all kids, schools. Come on, man. We need to put the focus into that.
I just want to make sure.
We need to put America first.
Okay, hold on, because black man to black man, I'm not going to do America first. I'm going to shoot straight, because putting America first has always put the black man, woman, and child last.
We can't say. I want to say put black people first, but you know how that. You know what that does. That kind of ruffle feathers. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm not here. I'm not here to keep nobody feathers intact.
Because what is the
we ain't doing that.
Law of nature. What is the first law of nature?
Survival.
Self-preservation. So I got to put black first, man.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm letting you know that you don't have to pull no punches here. But like I said, we
say no more.
But we want to make sure that we get hold on. But we want to make sure that we get out the right information. You know what I'm saying? So the reason that I ask you if there's any one thing that that the GOP has ever done for black people, and for you to say no, but to acknowledge that there are some things that the Democrats have done, then why would
they did a lot of things for us.
So why would you be on the side of the Republicans?
I'm not on neither side. What I'm witnessing for the first time in history, what I'm witnessing is both sides are full of shit.
Oh, for the first time? I agree that both sides are full of shit. However,
we can't trust none of these people, man. They lying.
But why did you come in hot taking a defense then, if that's the case? You came in hot taking a defense. You came in hot taking a defense on the side of the Republican Party. So
no, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, where you get that from? See, you just assuming. You're making assumptions. What made you say that? I didn't say that. Now, time come out my mouth, you said that I say that I'm a Republican.
That's not what I just said. What I said is,
no.
Listen to what my words are, and I'll say them slower so you can hear them correctly. I said, if that's your stance, you came in hot, taking the side of the Republican Party.
No, I didn't. Once again, you're making assumptions.
It did sound like that, sir. It did sound like it. No, it sounded like you were.
I'm with the elephant.
No. It did sound like you were speaking on in favor of them when you first came on.
Because I said America first.
No, because you were talking about certain things that they tried to, certain propaganda that they put out there, such as healthcare for illegal.
They do want illegal migrants.
No, they don't. They don't. No, they do. Not illegal.
Man, these people are fighting for these people, man.
No, they're not. But
my God.
I know what you
even call them. They won't even call them illegal migrants. They won't call them undocumented.
Because they are undocumented. But there are illegal immigrants or undocumented migrants that are here for other reasons than just killing the economy. But here's the thing.
They killing the economy.
But
they are sucking up the resources.
But legally
just sucking up the resources.
But no, they're not. Yo, how can? Oh, sucking up what resources? What resources have you lost? Hold on, my dude. No. Let's get personal. Wait. Because
I can smell a donkey. Y'all donkeys.
Yeah, I am. Hold on. I'm not gonna argue that I'm a Democrat. Hell yeah, I am. Hell yeah. There's no other. You can tell because I told you. You ain't got to tell. Shit, I'm not wearing a uniform. But when I say let me get personal, name something that you have ever lost to a migrant, to an immigrant. Anything.
Something I would lost.
Yeah, you. But fuck that America shit. Name something. Yeah, you.
Personally, I haven't lost anything, but me, I don't want them here. See, which I don't know. See, I was looking at something the other day. Hold on. The same people that's playing victim to us, and y'all going so wrong for. Do you know the people from Venezuela up in Mexico, and they doing the same thing? They don't want them there. So
I don't.
Shit ain't getting broadcast.
And we should. It shouldn't be broadcast because why the fuck should we care?
So why the fuck should we care about them? I don't care nothing.
Why should we care about who? Why should we care about who?
Illegal migrants, bro. We gotta get off out of here.
Okay, but I just asked you. Wait a minute. Wait. Hold on, Kim. I just asked you.
I'm gonna give you this work. Let's go.
I just asked you to name just one thing you've ever lost to an immigrant. I don't care whether they were legal or illegal.
Resources,
and you
no,
not. I didn't ask you about no we. I said you. I said you. Wait. Not individuals make up the whole. Because if you can't name any, hold on, my dude. Hold on. If you can't name anything that you have ever lost to an immigrant, then there's a bunch of there's a likelihood that there are millions of other people just like you that can't name anything that they've ever lost to an immigrant, legal or illegal. Hold on. But hold on. But just like you, they believe that there's something out there that you don't know about that you're losing, and that ain't got shit to do with it.
Let me tell you something, man. I ain't asking for nothing. I'm not even asking for reparation. I get it out the mud myself. I'm not asking for nothing. But I'm just telling you, they came in illegal. They came in breaking the laws, my brother.
So let me ask you this. Because I heard you say, I don't want them here. And it's funny that you
gotta get out of here.
It's funny that I'm assuming a black man is saying that when we live in a country where there's a huge portion of the country who says that very same thing about you. And
I was brought here.
Let me finish.
I was brought here. Let's go.
They feel like you don't belong here. And you're saying the exact same thing. So it's always amazing to me when someone who has the same thing said about them repeats the sentiment.
You know the difference between me and them? The difference between me and them that y'all fight for? The difference between me and them is I am American. They're not. I'm legal. They're not. Go back.
This country
home, then come back the legal way. Go back home.
You don't even have a home to come back to, sir. You don't even have a home to come back to.
Baby. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm at home.
Listen to what I'm saying. Hey, I'm not going to argue with you. But what I'm saying to you is there's a huge population in the United States who feels like you don't belong here. So everybody's going to feel some type of way. It feels like an oxymoron that you're repeating that. But why I have your attention, here, let me read to you exactly what Hakeem Jeffries said.
Oh, my God. Here we go. Come on.
Let me know what I'm missing in there. Let me.
He's from New York.
See what I missed in here in this conversation, because I needed to see exactly what you heard. So in this conversation,
from Jersey or Harlem? Where you from?
In this conversation, he starts off. He says, "Here's the thing: Republicans control the House and the Senate, and as a Republican president, if the government shuts down, it's because Republicans want to shut the government down." He goes on to say, enough with the game that Republicans have been playing connected to the health care of the American people, and no one can trust their word on health care. Are you kidding me?
Y'all got to stop playing politics, bro.
Then he says, and it was a frank and direct discussion with the President of the United States and Republican leaders. But significant and meaningful differences remain. Democrats are fighting to protect the health care of the American people, and we are not going to support a partisan Republican spending bill that continues to the health care of everyday Americans, period, full stop. There's a Republican caused healthcare crisis that is causing hospitals and nursing homes and community-based health clinics all across the country in rural America, urban America, small town America, the heartland of America, and black and brown communities throughout this country. And
Why
that
y'all
crisis
fight so hard
is
for the
happening right now. And that's why we believe there is urgency to both keeping the government open, reaching a bipartisan spending agreement that actually meets the needs of the American people in terms of their health, their safety, their economic well-being, and quality of life, while also addressing the dangerous Republican healthcare crisis. Let me say we're deadly serious about addressing the Republican-caused healthcare crisis because it's a deadly serious issue for the American people. Largest cut to Medicaid in American history, hospitals, nursing homes, and community-based health clinics closing right now. The fact that more than 20 million Americans are on the brink of experiencing dramatically increased premiums, co-pays, and deductibles because of the Republican refusal to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credit, which benefit working class Americans.
And we gotta stop all that begging, baby.
I pointed that out. Working class Americans, their health care. That's what we're fighting to preserve, to defend, and to strengthen. Now that I'm finished saying his exact words, tell me where he said anything about immigrant, migrant, undocumented. Tell me where he said anything in those words, because I didn't read any of that. And these are his exact words. I just got the transcript verbatim.
Hold on, listen. That's that black woman hardhead shit. She won't listen. She won't say it full up. Listen, okay. He's spinning it. He's saying he's helping taking away Medicaid and Medicare from American citizens.
Sir, that's not what I'm asking you about. I want you to tell me in those exact words that I read verbatim from the transcript where he said what you said he said. You said with your eyeballs and your ears, you saw him say this on CNN. I just read to you exactly what he said on CNN. So I'm trying to understand where your eyeballs and your ears see or heard him say anything different than what I just read.
It was probably a misquote, but he's spinning it. Let me ask y'all something.
Wait a minute, if it's a misquote
with this blue party, man.
What are you talking? Well, wait.
Why y'all on y'all knees with this blue party shit, man?
Oh yeah. Okay. Oh, so.
These folks, bro, hold on. Let me work. See, we allow these folks to come in our church every 4 years to plead for our votes. We allow these folks to lie to us. We've been begging these folks for 60 years. We haven't got nothing like the deal. Jewish people get money before us. Mexicans, Spanish get money before us. Everybody is before us, but we the main ones that vote for these people, man.
You know what? It's funny. Hold on. Kim, let me do this. Kim, let me do this. Hold on.
Let me get through work. Hold on. And then we got the nerve to be in the bed with the party that was behind slavery. The Democrats did not want to end slavery. They just found a better way to trick y'all black ass.
Let me know when you done.
For this shit. I'm done. Go ahead, man.
You sure you done?
Because go ahead.
You sure you done?
Go ahead. I love this shit. Hey, man, I'm done. Go ahead.
All right. So it's funny. It's funny how you said that we got to stop all this begging and shit. You said
begging like a motherfucker.
Yo, you said you was finished. I need you to shut up for a minute.
All right, go ahead. I'm gonna shut the fuck up.
All right, that's exactly what I need you to do. So you said out of your mouth that we got to stop all this begging shit. Then you said out of your mouth that the Jews get they get everything, that the immigrants get everything, and all of that.
Yeah, I'm just showing that.
I said, yo, shut the fuck up.
I'm just showing that.
Shut the fuck up until I'm done. The same way I shut the fuck up when you was talking. Matter of fact, I'm gonna cut your mic down and I'll make it easier. I'll make it easier for myself. Like I said, first you said we gotta stop begging. Then you said that everybody else gets things over us. And you also said during that time that you don't even want reparations. You all over the fucking place. And this is the problem that we have right now. It's people like you that don't know their proper history, don't understand the propaganda the propaganda machine that's being used against you. You read a bunch of headlines and listen to a bunch of motherfuckers who don't give a fuck about you and don't even look like you. And then you come and put all of this shit out and can't even do it in a straight line. How are you gonna say, well, we gotta stop all this begging. Everything should be done on merit and shit, as if that's where you come from. As if you started out equally with everybody else. And you mentioned slavery somewhere along the line. How does a black man come out of his mouth and talk about slavery but you want to say that was the Democrats? Yeah, it was. But what you don't understand is that the Republicans didn't give a fuck about your black ass. You were nothing but a means to an end. You were like a crop. You were like a trading block. You were like a bartering system. They couldn't win the war without you being a bargain chip in order to put the union together. So we got to really understand American history in order to talk the shit that we talk. So when we don't have focus, when we don't know what to say, we don't know who to listen to, and we don't really know where we come from or even our placement right now, let alone the future. Then these are the things we get. And it's not about anybody begging for anything. If things are on, you probably know, and I'm going to turn this mic up in a minute. You probably know that white people have benefited from welfare way more than black people have. From the inception of it, with the New Deal to right now, there are way more white people on welfare than there are black people. But black people and Latinos and shit are the face of welfare. Meanwhile, you don't see white people turning down any fucking government subsidies or benefits that they can get. They'll tell your black ass that you shouldn't want it or you shouldn't get it, but they'll accept it and get it all over the place. All white people aren't rich. All of them aren't influenced. All of them don't have good jobs. All of them don't come from good families or have decent careers. And the ones that don't, they need a little help. And so the welfare system was designed for them. It used to be called relief. It wasn't always called welfare. I don't need welfare. I wasn't brought up. I wasn't brought up to get a governmental check. But I understand that there are some people who aren't in the position to be able to work. And of course, any situation that involves millions and millions of dollars or billions of dollars, you're going to have people cheating the system. The same way that you're going to have the same people who implemented the system dipping in and taking a whole lot. That's the way it goes. But when I ask you to focus on yourself, if you can't say for yourself, well, yeah, these immigrants, I can see if maybe you were like a contractor or something like that. And you can say, these fucking Mexicans come over here and work damn near for free. And they're taking my contracts around the way. So now I can't really work because Juan and them, Eduardo and them, Felix and them are taking away all my contracts. I can see if that was your gripe. But if you tell me out of your face that you can't think of one thing that any immigrant has ever taken away from you, not a job, not housing, not even fucking apples and oranges at the damn store. But then you want to switch to, well, it's about Americans. Pick a struggle, my dude. Pick a struggle. All right, now I'll turn you back up.
I don't think we can support anything he said because, again, I read verbatim exactly what Hakeem said.
I'm gonna tell you what them immigrant motherfuckers. I'm gonna tell y'all what them immigrant motherfuckers took to me. I'm a truck driver, right?
Nah, it's too late. You already said nothing. I don't want to hear that shit now. No, I don't believe you now. I don't believe you. Nope. I don't believe you because I gave you. I asked you that question multiple times. I asked you multiple times. I asked you multiple times what an immigrant ever took from you, and your answer was nothing. Now all of a sudden it's something. The fuck out of here. I don't know what you think this is. I don't know what you think this is, but it ain't that. It ain't that. No, sir. No, sir. We don't believe you. We don't believe you. You had a chance to tell the truth and you told it, and now you want to come up with the what was the chick in the first Trump administration? She said alternative facts. Now you want to come up with alternative facts. Fuck out of here. Wrong address. Wrong address, sir. Matter of fact, I got to get you the fuck on up out of here.
Why you so mad? Because you can't support anything you said? Why you so mad?
Since I can't support what I said.
You can't.
Nah, we not going.
Shut the fuck up.
Nah.
Man, y'all.
Nah. That's done. That's done. We not gonna do this shit all night. Like I said, I had a long day, and I can't. Not all night. We gotta restore order. Let me see. Let me call Kim back. At some point, this shit gotta make some kind of sense. Oh shit. 3-1.
Thank you for calling Franciscan Health. Please press 1 to be connected to the patient's room.
The fuck?
Thank you for calling Franciscan.
Sorry about that, y'all. But at some point, you know what I mean? Something has to make sense. Oh, damn. All right, let me call her back. Get this thing together. Yeah, there you go.
Hello?
About to say, I know you home. So,
Yeah.
nah, I'm not doing. I'm not in the mood tonight. We're not doing all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be double talking and talking over and all of that shit. Not tonight. Motherfuckers get drunk, they get high, they call into the show, and they want to be everywhere. A lot of times I'll entertain that shit. Not tonight. Not tonight, goddamn.
You're deep in his feelings. That is insanity to me. And he couldn't keep focused on anything that made sense. That's the problem. He sounded just as bad as that president when he gets up and does a presser. He just sounded just like him, just all over the place with random stuff that doesn't amount to anything, that doesn't equate to anything. And he's so angry, but he had the floor to speak his truth.
He ain't fucking angry.
He can't answer anything.
He not. I don't even sense anger in what he was talking about. It's just a bunch of disgruntled misinformation. You know what I'm saying? He ain't had nothing to be mad about. He said they never did nothing to him. You know what I mean? But you know, like, I hate to use this word reverse racist. He has a lot of that in him. You know what I'm saying? Like,
he's a whole Uncle Ruckus. He's a whole Uncle Ruckus.
Man,
stupid.
Is that what you would call him? I don't know. But I know I ran out of my patience was running thin. Listen, I just need motherfuckers to hold a thought or to complete a thought. That's all I'm asking for tonight. That's all I'm asking for tonight. If anybody else is going to call into the show, all I need you to do is be able to complete a thought. You can say whatever the fuck you want, as you can clearly see, but I need you to be able to complete a thought. That's it. I don't have to agree with your thought. I don't have to disagree with your thought. I just need you to bring it from A to Z. You know what? I'll meet you in the middle. Get me from A to M. I think M is the 13th letter. Let's see. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M. Yeah. Meet me at M. Meet me at M, and I'm good. I'm good. If you go from A to G to L to R to V to Y, I can't do it. I can't. That motherfucker was talking.
There's one comment in the chat that's very heartbreaking, but it's true. It says, we as a country are looking real weak to other countries, and I hope they don't take full advantage of our time of weakness. And the sad reality is they probably will.
Well, we've been, you know what? Here's my thing about that, looking weak to other countries. My people been looking weak to this motherfucking country. So why the fuck should I worry about what I look like, what we collectively look like to other countries? When my country stops looking at me like I'm weak, then I'll give a shit about how Norway looks at us. But as it is,
in terms of war and defense and protection, safety, I believe that's where that's coming from.
But so far,
they think we're
so
weak.
far, the enemy of war that we have had to be concerned with has not been off of this soil.
But it's coming. And this country's not prepared. That's the honest truth.
Oh, they're prepared because they're not gonna allow themselves to be victimized. They'll victimize your black ass, but they're not going to allow themselves to be victimized. They'll get their shit together when it's time to defend themselves, but they're not going to defend you. But that's neither here nor there. We're talking about this government shutdown shit. Mm-hmm. We're talking about the government shutdown. Now, as far as this government shutdown is concerned, you know, there are a lot of people that are affected by this thing. You know, we were talking about welfare. People ain't going to get that. Unemployment benefits. People ain't going to get that. You have family members, or maybe you receive governmental or should I say military benefits because maybe you're a retired veteran or something like that. You're not going to get that. Now, of course, once the government reopens, you'll get all of the back pay and all of that shit. Fuck a back pay. Maybe. You know what I mean? Are you going to get a back pay? Is your rent going to have a back rent or a back mortgage? Does your mortgage company or your landlord want to hear how you have a governmental job and you're not getting paid right now? Are they going to stop eviction proceedings because you know you got to wait for the government to open up again? Your responsibilities don't have time to shut down. Your creditors, the government may shut down, but your creditors will never do it. So one of the hardest things that I see coming out of this government shutdown that will be hard to get back on track is that I don't see a meeting of the minds or any type of bipartisan agreements being made. I don't think so because the strongman act of Trump and MAGA has made it so any type of concession or compromise is seen as weakness, and not just seen as weakness, but displayed as weakness. So, you know, I don't know if any of y'all saw the photos of Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer in the White House in the Oval Office talking to Trump with the fucking Trump 2028 hat on the desk. Like, come on, man. Like, what kind of shit is that? Like,
Because he wants to be a forever president. He wants to be a dictator.
but why would you even sit down with somebody who would do that?
Yep.
Democrats, one thing is true, they gotta stop being pussies. They gotta stop.
I don't think Hakeem Jeffries is a good leader. That's my
Nah, he's horrible. He's horrible.
He's a good leader at all.
But he never ceases to amaze me of how this motherfucker don't act like he from New York. Like what you sure you from NYC? Cause you act like you from out maybe Kingston or somewhere, Rochester somewhere, Buffalo somewhere, Schenectady somewhere, on the slopes of Syracuse or fucking
I don't know how they picked him as the leader. I think it was a terrible pick, but that's neither here nor there.
He's not a terrible pick when the Democrats have Democrats have the power, because Democrats
I
look for.
thought he was a terrible pick.
Well, okay. Well, I'm going to say that Democrats believe in people being educated and polished and stuff like that, and that just has no it has no bounds here. It just has no precedence. It doesn't work here. You know what I mean? Like, book smarts ain't going to get us through this shit. When we look at cats like Gavin Newsom and like a Jasmine Crockett and stuff, unfortunately, that's the route we have to go, because nobody wants to hear this shit. We are in the social media age, and we are under the administration of the first social media president. And we acting like it's going to go back, like we about to go back to Etch a Sketches or typewriters.
Not ever.
Exactly.
Not
so
ever.
motherfuckers want the ratchet.
Once they allowed him to come in the first time, the scope has changed then, and it's going downhill since then.
Politically, we are in the fucking Jerry Springer age, and we're not going back.
Nope.
So you better get ready to fight on camera.
And they don't want to. I don't understand that. And Hakeem Jeffries is not the person for that. They thought he did a mic drop moment when he said, "If you have something to say about it, say it to my face." What is that? What are you, 6? That's so stupid. What are you going to go on the schoolyard and fight with this man? You're not doing that. That was nothing. He didn't say anything that was mic drop to me. It's like, is that the best you could do? That's how you fought? You educated ass person, that's how you were going to fight just that? That was dumb. He's just not the person. But this is a country that is definitely not going to double dip on having somebody black in charge. And this is a country that definitely is not going to let a woman lead. And the Democratic Party and the Republican Party both show that. Like, at the end of the day, these are still politicians. They get to go home and live their best lives. That's both parties. That's all parties, because there really is more than two. And the American people, the everyday person, is the one who's going to suffer at the end of it all. Like, we're arguing about who is better, who is stronger, who is this, who is that. But at the end of the day, it's everyday people. We are the one who lose, because Hakeem is going to go home to his house is paid, his utilities are paid, his bills are paid, his mortgage is paid, his rent is paid, whatever. And he's going to sit down. He's going to be okay. He's going to be fine. But it's old Mrs. Johnson, who lived on this street her whole entire life, who now has to worry about if she's going to be able to have medical coverage because she's a senior citizen, or if she's going to be able to have food or utilities, or be able to pay her home insurance and her taxes. That's the person who's going to suffer at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Man, this thing is like, you know, in the hood, we call it a dead end. In the burbs, we call it a cul-de-sac. Either way, ain't no way out the other way. And that's where we are right now. That's where we are right now. Let me say something right quick in the chat. Listen, K-Cell, Ed, Jason, yo, I appreciate y'all looking out. Y'all don't have to defend me against that dumb shit. Y'all know motherfuckers come on this show and they start getting in their feelings and they want attention and all that kind of shit. So they gonna go for this. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, people are going to say things that you don't agree with. I'm going to say things that people don't agree with. When it really all boils down to it, we have an obligation to try to get the right message out, or at least the right information out. We're trying to get this thing correct, and we can get it correct. Now, what the boy wrote, Senior Roboto or whatever, it's indicative of what I see, of the problems that I have with the GOP. Whenever you corner them about facts, about details, and about real plans, then if they don't really like the way that you're asking them, or they don't like the questions, then they start hurling insults at you. So it's about the company that you work for. It's about the gang that you belong to and all of that kind of shit. But it was a yes or no question that was asked. Is it this or is it that? So when the question is, well, you said that you were going to lower the prices of gas and food and rent and mortgages and now laters, and you haven't done any of those things. Well, when are you going to get to it? And then, all of a sudden, stories about not being able to send your kids to school because they'll come home transgender come up. I'm like, well, I thought we was talking about the price of now laters. I don't know, Snickers, Jolly Ranchers. What the fuck does that have to do with anything? And I think it's easy. I think it's really, really interesting how, on one hand, we talk all this America first shit until it comes down to Israel. But we can't even talk about Israel and the genocide and all of that kind of shit on the Democratic side or the Republican side. But the same thing that people got on Democrats about with this Israel shit, Donald Trump doing the same thing, only worse. Shit's fucking amazing. I'm feeling like when 50 Cent went at Ja Rule for singing on the records, and then he started singing. Like, ain't this about a bitch? It's the same shit.
Well, it's funny that he told America first and everything needs to be made in America, but didn't he and his sons come out and start hawking these phones that were made in China?
The phones, the sneakers, the watches, everything. Everything.
And
shit is Grip City.
In the beginning of production, yes, it has to be made in China, but that's why we're training people in the United States so they'll be made all in the United States. Well, why didn't you do that first before you start selling them to people in America?
Well, I mean, if we ready to pay $4,000 for an iPhone, yeah, count me in.
But it's people who support that and celebrate that and make excuses. That's the thing about it. He's good at deflecting. He is the king of deflection, that's for sure. He's good at saying what is inaccurate. He's good at putting up a smoke screen and feeding it to people who suck it in, and then they just stuck there.
Yeah. All right, let's start placing bets. How long will this government shutdown last?
I think he's going to. It's one of two things. Because there's a weakness that exists in the Democratic Party, unfortunately, I believe they may cave or he's going to ride this out until it's even more damaging to the American economy.
Mm-hmm.
Until the American people are so broken and hurt and struggle. Like, I do believe there is a struggle that is going to come before the end of this year that it's just going to harm us more than ever before. And 2026 is going to be very bleak. And this might be the start of it. This might be where he brings it on home. This may be the time where more than we've already seen of this Project 2025 open and unfold. This is an opportunity for them to really destroy this economy. And I think he's going to take it as far as he can. I don't see the Republicans yielding on this. Here, let me be clear. I don't see the MAGA Republicans yielding on this, because just an average Republican has already decided they don't agree with this, because we're dealing with three parties. We're dealing with the Democrats, Republicans, and then we're dealing with the MAGA Republicans. And that's a dangerous party right there. The MAGA Republicans, that in-house fight that's going on between them. Because you can look at Mark Rubio and you see he's like, what the hell? His face is always like, what have I signed up for? But I'm here. So because of this, either the Democrats are going to fold, and it's not going to make it any better, to be honest. It's not going to make it any better if they fold, or he's going to take it as far as he can until it reaches the level where it should logically stop and get back to something that resembles any kind of normalcy. I don't think he's going to yield and give up. Either way, there's going to be no win for the American people. They're going to lose big time either way. So,
all right, this is what I'm going to do. I got a little treat for y'all tonight. Got a little treat. Let's focus on a little bit of positivity tonight. If y'all still with me, got a little contest for y'all. Got a little contest. I'm going to need y'all to put in the chat, what date do you think that the government shutdown will end? And if you get it right, if you get the answer correctly, I will send you a Daily Go-Getimism t-shirt. Completely free. I'll even pay for the shipping and handling and all of that. Good fabric, good fit, good shit. And I'll also allow you to choose which one you want. So you can either take the white with the red writing, or the black with the white. So I need dates. Now, this is how this is going to work. Put the date in the chat. Now, what we got to watch out for is some of y'all picking the same date. But you can't just be like next Monday or next. I need the exact date. And if the government opens back up on that date, then I'll come back to this. I'll come back to this show, open up the chat, and see who guessed it. And if you guessed it correctly, you get a shirt. Now, of course, you're going to have to come back to the show in order to check to see if you won. So I would advise you. Y'all know we on every single day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. So come back to the show and say, yo, I picked that date, son. You got to send me a shirt. And if I see that you did, I'll make the arrangements for us to hook up. I'll need an address. It doesn't have to be your address. I'm big on security. I'm good. I'm big on safety. So if you have a PO box or something like that, but the bottom line is you get the shirt. So let's see, 15th of October. Okay. Senorita
Can I say my
Ramirez.
date?
No, you can put it in the chat though.
I'm not. I can't put it in the chat. I don't have a place to write it in right now.
All right, what's your date?
My date is October the 20th.
October 20th. Okay. All right, you online for October 20th. All right, I see your dates, and when the time comes, if the government shutdown should end on any of those dates, you get a shirt. These are good shirts too. These are good shirts too. Let me see what size this is. This is a medium. So that's pretty big for a medium. That's a medium? Shit. That's a medium. So we have medium, large, and extra large. I mean, if any of y'all just like the shirt and you wanna get a Daily Go Getimism shirt, holla at me. I can get you one for cheap. Not very much money. No, not at all. I could get you done. I could get you done for, let's say, $20. $20, you're good. So yeah, if those dates come in, I see you. One life, one love, one life to live. I see you. Yeah, this is a good look. So at least we can get some type of positivity out of this government shutdown, and the positivity that we will get will be a really cool T-shirt, really, really cool, and it won't be the one off of the display either. It'll be brand new. All right, so that's a good look. So as we continue, yeah, man. Is there anyone in the chat or within the sound of my voice that is directly affected by this shutdown? Anybody? Somebody?
I would say yes, kind of. So
Hold on. One love, one life to live says, if I win, I want those bees from around your neck signed and sign a T-shirt. These are a little expensive. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? That's a different contest and definitely a different cause. Now, what were you saying, Kim?
I say yes because I told you my friend is jammed up between Istanbul and the Ivory Coast due to whatever's going on in the U.S. Embassy due to the shutdown. My other friend is trying to get home from Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
The concerns with TSA and the operations of the airport. And then one of the ladies I work with, as soon as this shutdown hit, she let us know she's not going to be able to work with us anymore because she's got to get out of this country and away from here. So that affects operations of how we manage the business. Of course, it affects my contract because if I'm not able to do the things I need to do, there'll be no purpose in me having a contract that affects my money. And of course, my concern is my parents are going to get the money that they're supposed to get in their retirement. You know, that's a concern for me. So that would be the direct effect to me. Other than that, I don't. Health insurance, it affects me because I pay out of pocket for mine. Because I'm a independent contractor, I pay out of pocket for my insurance. The rates are already ridiculous. Like, insurance is insane right now. That's why I pay for a Ayurvedic doctor and a naturopathic doctor. Not just because I prefer a more holistic way of survival, but because those rates are so ridiculous for my health care. But I still hold on to them because, you know, anything could happen. So I still have them just in case. That's what insurance is, just in case. The premium is ridiculous. The price is ridiculous. It's only going to increase more. So that's how these things affect me directly.
Yo, and I'm sorry that you're directly mixed up in this shit because it's fucked up. It really is. And this the longer this shit goes on, it's going to start hitting home, even if it doesn't directly affect you. Because I mean, if you have people that you care about and they're being affected by this kind of shit, how can you consider yourself to be out of the line of fire? When my people hurt, I hurt. And I think, hey, hold on. This boy, this nut ass motherfucker Chris in the chat says same old BS that Sharpton does to keep them coming. Motherfucker, radio stations give away shit to keep them coming. But your president sells watches, sneakers, fucking commemorative assassination coins. Like this is the I almost got shot coin. Are you out of your fucking mind? Yo,
I pretend got shot coins.
Wait a minute. I'm willing to give away a t-shirt. Hold on, I'm willing to give away a t-shirt, and your dickhead ass president, you let him get away with selling you shit on the job. This is equivalent to your boss whipping out the candy sheet or Girl Scout cookies and telling you gotta buy them. Fuck you. Get the fuck, yo. Stop playing.
Going on in the White House.
Yo, this shit is crazy. You said yes, and you keep buying from him. I don't buy shit from that motherfucker. That's your president. He can eat a dick all day. The fuck out of here. And I mean an AIDS dick. You know what I mean? And I want him to get that shit quick. Yeah, that's what I wish for. Man, fuck, yo. Don't get me. Yeah. So the ridiculousness of this cult that y'all in. This shit is fucking crazy. Oh, I forgot the hats and shit that he sells. You know what I'm saying? The fucking, I can't forget the gear. The fucking Trump gear. Got y'all running around doing the Trump dance. So fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? Every time I see motherfuckers doing this shit, I be like, motherfucker, get this shit out the fuck out of here. You gotta be kidding me. You have gotta be kidding me. This shit crazy. But you can't tell these cats nothing. You can't tell these cats nothing. But it's all good.
I hear you, Jason. Jason said, I work for the DOD as a contract employee. I'm not furloughed, so my pay is likely to be delayed. Understand that I only get paid once a month anyway, so yeah, personally affected by the shutdown. I hear you, Jason. That's where I'm at with it.
That's real shit.
My contracts are through these employees, through these businesses that are government associated, and I only get paid once a month from them. So, like anything that happens, if one of the people takes off, that affects how we navigate. That affects how we work. That affects what we do. And all it takes is for them to say, well, you're not essential. You're not important. So let's do this contract.
Maria Ramirez says her friend is in the Navy. He's not going to get paid. And that's a fact. That's a fact.
And that's scary, though.
Yo, the same motherfuckers that are in the secret.
You got military people who are not going to get paid. And it's not like they're in a position where this is not like it was before. This is not like during the shutdown. They're like, we're not going to get paid right now, but we're loyal to this country because we're loyal. We have a good president. We have a good administration, or we have a good bipartisan party that we support. Right now, we have a military that's like, we don't like this nigga either. And we're not going to get paid. Why the fuck am I protecting this? He's putting us in harm's way. Why would I want to risk my life any further to protect somebody who talks so bad to me and my colleagues, who doesn't respect me and my colleagues? That's the difference now. We have military who's not going to get paid, who are questioning the importance of continuing doing what they signed up to do. Because they can easily turn and walk away on the side if something bad happens.
So imagine being a Secret Service agent, and you got to protect this motherfucker. You ain't getting paid.
He would be dead. So sorry. He would be dead.
Hold up though. I bet you they come up with some money for ICE though.
Yes. Yes. There's a whole article about it. That's the one place that's not furloughed, that's not losing any money. As a matter of fact, more money has been budgeted for ICE during this shutdown.
Hold on. That's all good. Yeah, ICE will always come up with some money. So you can see where the bread and butter of this whole administration is going into, where all the concentration is going into. So I don't see ICE getting us out of any trouble. I wish I could say I don't see ICE causing any trouble, but I do. I see it's a problem. You know what I mean? It's a problem. In the same way they rounding up those immigrants and shit like that. Oh, and this is part of what the Democrats were asking. Yo,
And American people.
yeah, they were asking, like, at the very least, have them show have identification, and no more masks, no more mask agents.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like you got another leg of the KKK rounding up motherfuckers. It's not the optics are bad. Yeah. Say the 4 years prior to Trump had nothing to do with the state of the country. What about when Trump was the president? Did that have anything to do with the state of the country? You know that motherfucker ran up more debt than any American president has ever done in a lifetime. And that was his first time. Wait till you see this trick. And and speaking of this trick, and speaking of the economy, this motherfucker running around here talking about he has $17 trillion in investments coming in. 17 trillion. Like, what are you fucking kidding me? 17 trillion. And nobody asks. This is how he got everybody all tight and fucked up. Nobody asked, where, Mr. President? Where are $17 trillion at? Because you should have a mad surplus right now. How do we still have a national debt, but you have got $17 trillion on the table? How they do that? All right, Kim, it's 4:00. We gotta get on up out of here. Let's do these birthday shout outs and then. All right.
Stay safe. Be careful. Move with ease, y'all. Peace.
All right, you have a good night.
You too.
All right, let's look at the results of this poll. The results of the poll for this show was, who do you blame for the government shutdown? 44% said the radical left Democrats. And 21% said MAGA GOP. 30% said Donald Trump, period. And 5% said the big, beautiful bill. And this is out of 63 votes. I want to thank everybody for putting their vote in. And I want to thank you in advance for coming through. We're going to do these birthday shout outs. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious, glorious, glorious. October 1st, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special, because they are special, because they are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They get number one out the box. Number one out the box is my late great. I'm going to do this posthumous birthday shout out. My late great stepfather, Henry Roscoe Blue. I miss you every day, Pop. Miss you, Dad. You were the greatest. You know, you taught me how to be a man. You were my dad, even though my dad was still here. So, you know, you blessed me to be able to have two fathers instead of just one. And that is truly a blessing. So happy heavenly birthday to you. You would have been, shit, he was born in 35. He was born in 1935. So shit, you would have been a whole 90. My man, you would have been a whole 90. He passed when he was 74, 2010. And also, Akshaya Tayamat Sunra Al, happy birthday to you. And also Kimberly Gilbert Barnes, Tamara Edwards, Kimberly McMingus, Doris Bess Ruff, Shay Bullock, and Prizzy Pro. I want to say happy birthday to all of y'all. And I hope that today finds you all in good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And that goes out to each and every person out there born on this glorious October 1st, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out, rock on and do the damn, the rock out. Rock on and do the damn rock out. Rock on and do the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours. And remember, first of all, I know a lot of y'all that have been listening to this show all of this time, and I want to show appreciation for y'all rocking out with me. But a lot of y'all didn't even give me a thumbs up. I can't get no more likes than 21 measly stupid likes. So how does this work? I get more votes in the poll than I do likes on the show. Mother, there's too much bullshit up in here. All right, anyway. The government is shut down. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're shut down. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to affect you immediately, personally. But in some way, it will affect us all. And the political ramifications, as far as the things that we may be able to face in the future, are dire and they're serious. And they aren't something that we can just blow off or blow over or dismiss as insignificant or unimportant. It's not something that we can do. I'm hoping that this thing will end quickly. Trump would like you to believe that this is going to hurt the Democrats even more. But I think a lot of people are on to the propaganda about everything being the Democrats' fault, because at the end of the day, this is Trump's presidency. And the longer this government shutdown stays or goes on, the more truth that's going to have to come out, even if it's just the truth that this is on your watch, sir. This is on your watch. You have all of the power of the Senate and the House in order to get this thing done. So what they're going to do? What they're going to do? All right? Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death. Resuscitate y'all. I love y'all right back to life. We will be back tomorrow night for another Daily Go Getimism show, 2 a.m. in the morning. So make sure y'all come on through. Y'all have a good night. It's either time to go to work or time to go to bed. I'm about to go to bed. And after that, I'm going to go to work. But we working at all times. So y'all holler back. Be safe and show love. Holla. Peace, señorita Ramirez.